What is the convection fan? What does it do and when should you use it? Today we'll answer these questions to get you ready for the holidays. Let's do a little Wonder Bread test. At 400 degrees without convection, it took me 20 minutes to get any color on top. But with convection, the top got way more brown after only 13 minutes. As you can see, both bakes were somewhat uneven, but in different ways. Without convection, these areas are darker, and with convection, these ones are darker. There is a misconception that the convection fan makes the food cook more evenly. Not necessarily. It creates a current of air that often favors some parts of your oven more than others. So using convection doesn't mean that you shouldn't rotate your baking sheets. That's still a good idea. There is also a misconception that the convection fan will produce the same results faster. It's true that it will brown faster, but most importantly, it will brown differently. Without the convection fan, most browning on your food will be happening on the bottom, the part that touches the baking sheet. With the convection fan, the top will be browning as well. That's the biggest difference. This sounds like a wonderful thing, and you'd think that we should bake everything with convection all the time. Not so fast. Baking pizza with convection results in burnt cheese. Baking pies with convection results in a burnt top. The common wisdom says that if you are using convection, you should lower the oven temperature by 25 degrees. That makes sense, but that won't necessarily produce the same results. In some cases, you really do want to give plenty of heat to the bottom with a pretty high temperature and slow down the top by not using the fan. There are many dishes where convection is beneficial for the last few minutes to brown the top once you know your bottom is already nicely brown. Take this spinach pie or a fruit galette, for example. When they go in the oven, the bottom needs a lot of energy to crisp up. It has a thick layer of relatively wet filling on top, producing steam, and it takes a ton more energy to brown than the top. But once the bottom is brown, I like to turn on the convection fan towards the end to quickly brown the top. If you don't have a convection fan, there is another way to brown the top. Move the pan closer to the top of the oven. Your oven walls radiate heat onto your food. The closer you are to a particular wall, the more radiation you get from that direction. In other words, if you want the bottom to brown faster, place the food on the bottom rack. If you want the top to brown faster, place the food on the top rack. When you're following someone's recipe, it's best to use the convection setting that the recipe recommends. Most American recipes assume no convection. That's because many standard American oven models don't have it. If an American recipe developer wants you to use convection, they'll ask for it explicitly. Most European ovens do have convection, so some recipe developers might treat that as the default. To make a long story short, if you have too much browning on top, turn off convection. If you don't have enough browning on top, turn on convection. But of course, all ovens are different, so I hope to hear from you in the comments about how you use your convection fan. Please tell me what brand and model of oven you have and if it's gas or electric. For example, you can say it's GE Profile Electric. By the way, mine is Wolf Gas. I hope this little video will help you bake better for the holidays. Here are more thought-provoking culinary videos for you to check out, and if you are ever in the Boston area, maybe I'll see you in one of my classes.